We often think about AI doing, these huge world-changing things, right?
Absolutely. Curing diseases, exploring space.
Yeah, exactly. But what if, like, its biggest impact right now is somewhere, well, closer to home, like in the office?
That's exactly where we're going today. We're doing a deep dive into something pretty provocative from Sergey Brin, Google's co-founder.
Oh, yeah.
There's this Business Insider piece from May 2025, and it details Brin saying that using AI for management is, get this, the easiest thing to do with the AI.
Wait, what? Easy? Okay, we have to
Okay,
unpack that.
right.
So our mission here is to figure out what on earth he means by that. How is he actually using AI for leading people at Google?
And what does it signal for, the future of work, management itself?
We're going straight to that Business Insider article to get the lowdown.
Okay, so the core claim, let's state it again clearly, management is like the easiest thing to do with the AI. That's Brin.
And this isn't just some random thought.
Uh,
It comes after he went back to Google in 2023, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jump back in specifically to work on AI, especially with all the competition heating up then. The article makes that context clear.
And he said this on a podcast.
Yeah, the All In podcast, pretty big deal in the tech world. It dropped Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. So this is fresh.
Okay. Now, the interesting part, how is he actually doing this? The article gives examples, right?
It does, and they're quite specific. First up, dealing with those endless group chats we're all drowning in.
Ugh, tell me about it.
So Brin used AI, the article suggests it was likely Gemini, to basically just condense all that chatter.
Okay, summarizing. That makes sense.
But it's more than just summarizing. He said the AI could suck down a whole chat space and then answer pretty complicated questions.
So it actually understood the conversation, not just shortened it,
Precisely. He could ask it complex things about what was discussed, what decisions were made.
instead of digging through it all himself.
Wow.
And then he used that to...
To assign tasks. He could pull the key actions or points from the AI summary and give them out to the team.
efficient. A bit impersonal, maybe.
Well, he actually touched on that, said sometimes pasting the AI's text back into the chat was a bit of a giveaway. It didn't sound quite like him.
Huh. I can imagine.
But he said despite that, it worked remarkably well. So the efficiency gain was real, even if the execution wasn't always seamless human interaction.
Okay, so AI as a super summarizer, task assigner. I can see the easy part there, maybe. But there was another example, right? Something about promotions.
Yes. And this one, I think, is even more startling, perhaps. He asked the AI tool to look at the group chat and identify people who might be up for promotion.
Whoa, okay. Using chat logs to find top performers. That's different.
Very different from just relying on who speaks up most in meetings, right? And the result was fascinating. Brin said the AI actually picked out this young woman engineer who I didn't even notice she wasn't very vocal.
So it flags someone based on their contribution in the chat, someone who might have been overlooked otherwise.
Exactly. Someone perhaps quieter, but whose work, as captured in the chat, stood out to the algorithm.
Did he check this? I mean, was the AI right?
Apparently, yes. He followed up with the manager, who agreed. Said she was doing great work, just, maybe not loudly.
And she got the promotion.
Brin believes it ended up happening, yeah. It's a powerful anecdote about AI potentially spotting talent in a more objective way, maybe less biased.
Less biased by, like, charisma or visibility, perhaps. More focused on the digital footprint of the work itself.
Interesting. Definitely. It suggests AI could see patterns or contributions humans might miss in the day-to-day noise.
And beyond these specific management tasks, Brin has broader thoughts on AI, too.
Oh, yeah. He basically said he thinks AI can do certain things much better than humans, even things he's really good at.
Like what?
Like math and coding. Coming from a Google co-founder, that's a lot of the statement.
It really shows his conviction, doesn't it? That AI isn't just a tool, but potentially superior in some skills.
And the article points out he's not entirely alone in thinking along these lines, or at least exploring AI for leadership help.
Right. There are other execs mentioned.
Yeah, like Jensen Huang, Nvidia's CEO. He uses things like ChatGPT and Gemini every day, but calls it his tutor.
A tutor. How so?
He uses it to learn.
Yeah.
Asks it to explain complex stuff, starting simple and then getting more advanced, like having an expert explain things just for you, on demand.
That's a smart way to use it, actually, a continuous learning.
Then you've got Duolingo's CTO. They have this, 3-step process for tasks.
Okay.
Step 1, decide if it needs doing. Step 2, see if ChatGPT can automate it. Step 3, if not, then a human does it. Automation first, basically.
So Actively looking to offload tasks to AI. That's
Yeah.
quite a policy.
Very proactive. But it's not all techno-optimism. The article brings in another perspective.
Yeah, who was that?
Dan Shapiro, LinkedIn COO, he kind of pumps the brakes a bit.
How so? What's his concern?
He stresses the importance of the human parts of management.
Yeah.
Inspiring people, connecting on an emotional level, building trust.
Things AI might not be so good at? Or maybe can't do it all?
That's the question he raises, right? Can an AI truly inspire a team? Can it show genuine empathy? Build real culture? Shapiro suggests maybe not, or at least not yet.
That feels right. Leadership isn't just about processing information and assigning tasks. There's a whole relationship aspect.
Exactly. It's about motivating people, understanding their needs, navigating complex interpersonal dynamics. That's where Shapiro's caution comes in.
So, pulling this all together from the article, we've got Brin pushing the boundaries, using AI for efficiency, even talent spotting.
Right. And others like Huang using it for learning, Duolingo for automation.
But then Shapiro reminding us, hang on, what about the core human element of leading people?
Precisely. You see this spectrum. AI is clearly powerful for certain management tasks, summarizing, maybe even pattern recognition for performance.
But the leadership aspect, the human connection, that seems much harder, maybe impossible, for AI to replicate.
And that's the tension the article highlights really well. It gives you, the listener, a really good sense of this cutting-edge debate. How much of management can or should be handed over to AI?
So just to recap our deep dive, we look at Sergey Brin's pretty bold claim about AI making management easy.
Saw his examples. Using Gemini for chat summaries, task assignment, even potentially spotting promotion-worthy engineers.
We also touched on how other tech leaders are experimenting. Nvidia's CEO using it as a tutor, Duolingo automating tasks.
But balance that with the LinkedIn COO's view, emphasizing that crucial human dimension of leadership.
Yeah.
Inspiration, connection, stuff AI might struggle with.
Which leaves us with a really interesting question for you to think about.
Yeah, based on all this, what parts of being a manager do you think AI could genuinely take over or assist with effectively?
And maybe more importantly, what parts absolutely need that human touch?
And if AI does handle more of the info processing, the scheduling, the data analysis, how does the role of the human manager change? What becomes their core focus?
Does it free them up for more human connection, or does it change the role entirely?
Definitely something to chew on. A fascinating glimpse into a potential future of work.